Part of the reason we talk about what gets us riled up in our daily lives is to help each other put a finger on what our relapse triggers might be. Head off our disease before it comes back. So, anyone? Free license to bitch and moan. How often do you get that? Jesse, last time you seemed pretty down about your job at the laundromat. Let me ask you something. If you had the chance to do anything you wanted, what would you do?
Make more green, man. A lot more.
Forget about money. Assume you have all you want.
I don't know. I guess I would make something.
Like what?
I don't know if it even matters, but work with my hands, I guess.
Building things? Like carpentry or bricklaying or something?
I took this VOTEC class in high school, woodworking. I took a lot of VOTEC classes because it was just a big jerk off, but this one time I had this teacher, name of Mr. Pike. I guess he was like a Marine or something before he got old. He was hard of hearing. My project for his class was to make this wooden box, you know, like a small, just like a box, you know, to put stuff in. So I wanted to get the thing done as fast as possible. I figured I could cut classes for the rest of the semester, and he couldn't flunk me as long as I, you know, made the thing. So I finished it in a couple days, and looked pretty lame, but it worked, you know, for putting stuff in or whatnot. So when I showed it to Mr. Pike for my grade, he looked at it and said, "Is that the best you can do?" At first I thought to myself, hell yeah, bitch, now give me a D and shut up so I can go blaze one with my boys. I don't know. Maybe it was the way he said it, but it was like he wasn't exactly saying it sucked. He was just asking me honestly, is that all you got? And for some reason I thought to myself, yeah, man, I can do better. So I started from scratch. I made another, then another. And by the end of the semester, by like box number 5, I had built this thing. You should have seen it. It was insane. I mean, I built it out of Peruvian walnut with inlaid zebra wood. It was fitted with pegs, no screws. I sanded it for days until it was smooth as glass. Then I rubbed all the wood with tung oil so it was rich and dark. It even smelled good. You know, you put your nose in it and breathed in. It was perfect.
What happened in the box?
I gave it to my mom.
Nice. You know what I'm going to say, don't you? It's never too late. They have art co-ops that offer classes. Adult extension program at the university.
You know, I didn't give the box to my mom. I traded it for an ounce of weed.
I used to be a beat cop a long time ago. And I get called out on domestic disputes all the time, hundreds probably over the years. But there was this one guy, this one piece of shit that I will never forget. Gordy. He looked like Bo Svensson. You remember him? Walking tall, you don't remember? No. Anyway, big boy. 270, 280. But his wife, or whatever she was, lady, was real small. Like a bird. Wrists like little branches. Anyway, my partner and I get called out there every weekend. And one of us would pull her aside and we'd say, come on, tonight's the night we press charges. And this wasn't one of those deep down, he really loves me setups. We got a lot of those, but not this. This girl was scared. She wasn't going to cross him, no way, no how. Nothing we could do but pass her off to the EMTs, put him in the car, drive him downtown, throw him in a drunk tank. He sleeps it off. Next morning, out he goes. Back home. But one night, my partner's out sick, and it's just me. And the call comes in, and it's the usual crap. Broke her nose in the shower kind of thing. So I cuff him, put him in the car, and away we go. Only that night, we're driving into town, and this sideways asshole is in my back seat humming Danny Boy. And it just rubbed me wrong. So instead of left, I go right out into nowhere. And I kneel him down, and I put my revolver in his mouth. And I told him, this is it. This is how it ends. And he's crying, going to the bathroom all over himself, swearing to God he's gonna leave her alone, screaming, much as you can with a gun in your mouth. And I told him to be quiet. But I needed to think about what I was gonna do here. And of course he got quiet. Goes still. And real quiet. Like a dog waiting for dinner scraps. And we just stood there for a while. Me acting like I'm thinking things over. And Prince Charming kneeling in the dirt with shit in his pants. And after a few minutes, I took the gun out of his mouth. And I say, so help me if you ever touch her again, I will such and such and such and such and blah, 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 blah.
Just a warning.
Of course. Just trying to do the right thing. But 2 weeks later, he killed her. Of course. Caved her head in with the base of a wearing blender. We got there was so much blood you could taste the metal. The moral of the story is, I chose a half measure when I should have gone all the way. I'll never make that mistake again.
Oh, I know the moment. It was the night Jane died. I was at home and we needed diapers, and so I said I'd go. But it was just an excuse. Actually, that was the night I brought you your money, remember?
Yeah, I remember.
But afterward, I stopped at a bar. It was odd. I never do that. Go to a bar alone. And I just walked in and sat down. I never told you.
You went to a bar.
I sit down, and this man, this stranger, he engages me in conversation. He's a complete stranger. But he turns out to be Jane's father, Donald Margolis.
What are you talking about?
Of course, I didn't know it at the time. I mean, he was just some guy in a bar. And I didn't put it together until after the crash, when he was all over the news.
Jane's dad.
Think of the odds. Once I tried to calculate them, but they're astronomical. I mean, think of the odds of me going in, sitting down that night in that bar next to that man.
What'd you talk about?
Water on Mars. Family.
What about family?
I told him that I had a daughter, and he told me he had one too. And he said, never give up on family. And I didn't. I took his advice. The universe is random. It's not inevitable. It's simple chaos. It's subatomic particles in endless, aimless collision. That's what science teaches us. But what is this saying? What is it telling us when on the very night that this man's daughter dies, it's me who's having a drink with him? How can that be random?
Hey, sit down.
No, it's... That was the moment. That night. I should never have left home. Never gone to your house. Maybe things would have... I was at home watching TV. Some nature program about elephants. And Skylar and Holly were in another room. I could hear them on the baby monitor. She was singing a lullaby. If I had just lived right up to that moment, and not 1 second more.